In the shadows where truth and tales intertwine, we find the thrilling, the chilling, the downright spine-tingling. From the paranormal to the peculiar, every echo has a story. Dare to delve into the unexpected, the unexplained? Brace yourself, for you're about to embark on a journey where fear meets fascination. Stay tuned if you dare, for stories that will make your heart race and your mind ponder. Welcome to the realm of the eerie, the realm of the unknown. And remember, like and subscribe, if you dare. Can desperation drive humans to form pacts with the unknown? Picture this. Pierre Bourgault, a humble shepherd in the 16th century, is caught in the unrelenting torrents of a thunderstorm. His flock of sheep, his livelihood, scattered and vulnerable to the lurking predators of the night. In his desperation, he's met with an unusual encounter. Out of the swirling darkness, 3 riders cloaked in black emerge. Their arrival brings an eerie calm to the raging storm. One of them, a figure as chilling as the night itself, offers Bourgault a lifeline. He promises that not a single sheep would be lost to the night's predators. This assurance, however, comes with a heavy price. The rider demands Bourgault's allegiance, requiring him to renounce his faith in God and to acknowledge this mysterious figure as his lord and master. The act of fealty is sealed with a chilling kiss to the rider's corpse-cold hand, a gesture that sends an icy shiver down Bourgault's spine, marking the point of no return. With this pact, Bourgault is no longer a mere shepherd. He's now bound to a being from the unknown, a being who holds the power to protect his sheep, but at what cost? This exchange, sealed under the cover of the tempestuous night, sets Bourgault on a path he could never have imagined. The pact is more than a pledge of loyalty. It's a surrender of his soul, a concession to forces beyond comprehension. It not only promises him the safety of his flock, but also ushers him into a world shrouded in mystery and horror. Bourgault, in his desperation, had traded in his faith, his soul, for the well-being of his flock. He had formed an unusual pact with a being whose true nature was yet to be revealed, a pact that would soon lead him down a path of terror and bloodshed into the very heart of the supernatural. And so the pact was sealed, setting the stage for a horrifying journey into the realm of the supernatural. What if you could shapeshift into a powerful beast, but at a terrible cost? Indeed, the pact made with the mysterious rider in black was not without its consequences. Years after the agreement was sealed, Bourgault found himself weary, longing for an escape from his contract. Yet the pact was unyielding. He was summoned by Michel Verdun to a sabbat in the woods. The sabbat, a clandestine assembly, was a gathering shrouded in mystery and dark rituals. Verdun, a man equally entangled in the web of lycanthropy, instructed Bourgault to strip naked under the cold, moonlit sky. He was then anointed with an unguent, a strange concoction that held the power of transformation. As the unguent seeped into his skin, Bourgault felt a surge of energy, a lightning-fast speed coursing through his veins. His human form was replaced by that of a wolf, powerful and terrifying. Verdun was not a mere spectator. He, too, had the ability to shapeshift into a wolf. Together they transformed into fearsome beasts, their humanity traded for a monstrous form. Their transformation was not a spectacle of fantasy, but the beginning of a horrifying campaign. The 2 werewolves, now armed with the strength and speed of their beastly forms, embarked on a violent spree. Their targets were the unwary travelers and innocent children of the district. They became predators, their human lives forgotten as they embraced their wolfish instincts. A boy of 7 was their first victim, torn to pieces before anyone could raise an alarm. The taste of warm blood became their motivation, their sustenance. Their actions were not driven by survival, but by a perverse pleasure, derived from their bloody exploits. The transformation of Bourgault and Verdun was more than a physical alteration. It was a descent into a realm of darkness, a surrender to the monstrous side of their nature. Their pact had resulted in a metamorphosis that went beyond the physical, reaching into the very core of their humanity. Their reign of terror had begun, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Can the taste of warm blood become an addiction? This question might seem grotesque, but it's one that would have been relevant to the Werewolves of Poligny. Michel Verdun and Pierre Bourgault, 2 men whose nightly transformations into bloodthirsty beasts led to a reign of terror that still echoes through the ages. A horrifying frenzy of violence gripped the district as the two werewolves embarked on a campaign of unspeakable brutality. They targeted travelers and children, the most vulnerable members of society, with a chilling indifference to the sanctity of life. The first victim was a boy of merely 7 years, who was tragically torn to pieces before anyone could raise an alarm. Then a little girl was devoured whole, save for an arm. The savagery of these attacks was such that it left even the hardened locals shocked and terrified. The werewolves didn't stop at attacking humans. They also preyed on agricultural workers, striking them down with a ruthless efficiency that was as brutal as it was indiscriminate. One can only imagine the fear that must have gripped these hard-working folk, knowing that they could be the next victims of these monstrous predators. Their gruesome deeds were driven by a perverse desire for fresh meat, the taste of warm blood becoming a sickening obsession. This craving was so intense that they would lap up their victims' blood with an eerie relish, evoking the unsettling image of a kitten lapping up a saucer of milk. This comparison, however, does a disservice to kittens, for even the most ravenous of felines would balk at the horrific acts committed by these werewolves. The sheer inhumanity of their actions was shocking, but there was more to their depravity than the consumption of human flesh. Their monstrous acts knew no bounds, as they indulged in unspeakable horrors. The werewolves of Poligny were not just murderers, but embodiments of evil, their actions a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul. What happens when the line between man and beast blurs? As the moon rose higher and their fur bristled in the night, it wasn't just their bodies that shifted. Their minds, too, were warped by the beastly curse that had befallen them. The confessions of Burgot and Verdun painted a disturbing picture of desires that were far from human. In the dark recesses of the forest, hidden from the eyes of civilization, they found a new kind of companionship. Their interactions with she-wolves were not driven by the primal instinct of survival, but by a perverse desire that had nothing to do with their humanity. The allure of the wild beasts was irresistible to them. They confessed with an unsettling degree of satisfaction of their intimate encounters with these creatures of the night. Their preference for she-wolves over human women was a shocking revelation that sent shivers down the spines of those who heard their confessions. It was as if their transformation into werewolves had not just altered their physical form, but had also twisted their human desires into something grotesque and unnatural. The details of their encounters were as vivid as they were disturbing. They described how the she-wolves responded to their advances, how they engaged in acts of intimacy under the moonlit sky. The wild, unrestrained passion they experienced with the beasts was, according to them, far superior to any interaction they had with human women. The pleasure they derived from these encounters was another testament to the extent their humanity had been corrupted. It was clear that their transformation had not just given them the ability to change their form, it had also given them a taste for the wild, for the raw, untamed essence of the beast. They had become creatures of instinct, driven by desires that were as dark as the forest they prowled in. Their transformation extended beyond physical form as they succumbed to their bestial desires. The werewolves of Poligny were not just men who had been cursed with the ability to become wolves. They were men who had willingly embraced the beast within them, surrendering to their darkest, most unnatural desires. Every reign of terror must come to an end, but how? Herein lies the downfall of the werewolves of Poligny. It began with an unsuspecting traveler, who'd fought off a wolf attack while passing through the quiet town. The wolf, injured and desperate, retreated into the nearby thicket, leaving a conspicuous trail of blood in its wake. Curiosity piqued, the traveler followed the trail, hoping to prevent another surprise attack. But what he found instead was not a wolf, but a man. Michel Verdun, to be precise. His wife was tending to a wound in the exact location where the wolf had been injured. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Upon questioning, Verdun's resolve crumbled. He implicated Pierre Burgot, revealing the horrifying tale of their monstrous deeds and the unholy pact they'd made. The news spread like wildfire, and soon the Inquisition was on their doorstep. The trial that ensued drew crowds from far and wide. The court heard the confessions of Verdun and Burgot, their wicked acts laid bare for all to see. The grotesque details of their crimes sent shivers down the spines of even the most hardened onlookers. The evidence was overwhelming, and the verdict inevitable. In the chilling winter of 1521, Verdun and Burgos were led to the stake. The crowd watched in morbid fascination as the flames licked higher, consuming the men who had once held their town in a grip of fear. The werewolves of Poligny were no more, but their story did not die with them. It lived on, whispered in hushed tones and recounted in horror-filled tales. It served as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the hearts of men, of the terror that can be unleashed when that darkness is given form. In the end, the werewolves of Poligny met a fiery demise, their horrifying tale serving as a chilling reminder of the dark side of humanity. And so, our tale of the Campfire Horrors comes to an end. Until next time, sleep tight. Before we part ways, dear viewers, remember to stay vigilant. The Campfire Horrors may have been extinguished for now, but the embers of the unknown always remain. As you lay down to sleep tonight, don't forget the lessons from our tale. Safety is but a fleeting moment in a world of unseen. So if you've enjoyed this journey into the abyss, don't forget to ring that bell and smash that like button. Do it before the thing under your bed decides to pay you a visit. Oh, and keep those night lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Thank you for embarking on this terrifying adventure with us, until our paths cross again in another tale of the unknown. Goodbye and sweet dreams, if you can.